One of the ulama says that in Najaf, many years ago, there were two students in Hawza who used to go on Fridays out of Najaf, Kufa, just a bit like, enjoy themselves, just, have a good time sitting and talking on a day that is off. He says they both were studying in the Hawza, and they usually take with them, back in the time, what is known as qalamdan. Qalamdan in Farsi means this pen, or a stick which is used as a pen, which you have to dip in the ink. Back in the time, they didn't have like these pens that we have today, right? So they have these, so they make them out of wood, and they carry them wherever they go with a pot of ink. In case they remember something or they see something, they jot them down. Of course, it was so difficult at that time. Imagine, you have to dip it in ink and then write. Maybe some of you already have used to use this, right? You write 2 words and it finishes. Then you dip it again and you continue. Subhanallah, our ulama have written many hundreds of books, how difficult it was. And today you can dictate, you can sit there and talk, and your voice becomes text and it's typed for you. Yes, so much easier now. Anyway, said they took this particular qalamdan with them, or what they usually do. So one of them asked the other. He said, "Did you bring the qalamdan today? Did you bring it with you?" Yes. Awardi in Farsi means, did you bring it? Yes. The other person is difficulty in hearing. He doesn't hear properly, right? So he had this qalamdan as what? As dandan. Dandan in Farsi means teeth. Yes? So he said to him, "What do you mean, did I bring my teeth?" Yes? Back in the time, they didn't have these false teeth, by the way. And today, maybe this is the okay question. Because if you're not got the proper teeth, you wear the false teeth. Back in the time, yes, maybe 70, 80, 100 years ago, this was, so what do you mean I didn't bring my teeth? Yes, they're here. So that man looks at him and says, "I know you can't hear me properly, but can't you think properly? Why would I tell you why haven't you brought your teeth?" Yes? So the man put his head down and said, "Let me be honest with you. Sometimes when you're difficulty in hearing, you don't think as well properly. So that's the reason." This particular individual said, as I said this to him, like, you don't hear, but also you don't think. What's wrong with you? Yes. He said, "I went a week later, I lost hearing in one ear. I couldn't hear anymore." This is the other person who had good hearing. Yes. Now, Quran in Surah Hujurat, chapter 49, says, "Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, la yaskhar qawmun min qawmin, asa an yakunu khayran minhum." In today's world, we are influenced by Western practices on comedy, on movies, Hollywood, Bollywood, where people mock and ridicule each other. For example, they see something in somebody and then they laugh at them. "Look at you. You're too short. You're too tall. You're too fat. You're too this. You're this. Your complexion." So they mock the physical features or what? Or certain characteristics of human beings for the sake of comedy, for the sake of making others laugh. Allah says this is haram. You cannot mock people for who they are, or even their, for example, statements, whatever. You have to do amar bil ma'ruf and nahy anil munkar. Don't do it in a mocking way. Say it in an appropriate manner. For example, if somebody said something that they shouldn't have, ghiba, backbiting, say, "Brother, sister, that's not right." That's not mocking. But to say, "Look at you. You can't even think. Look at you. You're this. Look at," and these nicknames. وَلَا تَنَابَزُوا بِالْأَلْقَابِ. Allah says this placing nicknames that makes others laugh. Yes. For example, I hear sometimes people calling this person, he's a fatty. That person, he is bald. That person, he is, I don't know, chatty. What's this? These are all hugely problematic. The Quran condemns these kinds of what? These kinds of expressions made to make fun of people. Anyone. Yes, anyone. Now, there was a wife of the Holy Prophet by the name of Safiya bint Hayy. She was Jewish, from the Jewish tribe, and the Prophet of Islam married her. She came to the Holy Prophet and said, Ya Rasulullah, they're mocking me. They're saying that you've got Jewish background, you are Jew, and they're laughing at me. The Prophet of Islam was, of course, upset about this. But he said to her, go and tell them, who is better than me? My uncle is Musa and my husband is Mohammed. Yes? You want to laugh at me? This is my state. Yes? The idea that emerges is what? We have to be very careful because sometimes these habits develop. Sometimes these traits become second nature. We see something, we think it's worthy of laughter, immediately we say it without even thinking. And we are accumulating these sins. And it's causing what? It's causing dissension and disunity and breaking the hearts of people in society. And some get upset and others. Islam wants to perfect our akhlaq, our mannerism, the way we deal with others with respect and with honor.